Hi guys, I'm back. Welcome back to Soul's Journey. This is a busy week for me, video-wise, after a couple of weeks of nothing. So today I have a new unboxing to do. And I just received this yesterday. It's the second edition Brady Tarot. So I'm going to flip the camera around so we can see the cards a little more clearly, and I'll see you in a minute. Alrighty, here we go. So this is the second edition of the Brady Tarot. This was a Kickstarter that funded last November 30th, and the estimated delivery was May of this year, so right on time. So well done in the midst of all this. And this thing, I swear it weighs like 5 pounds. It's just, this is so heavy. I haven't actually taken this little sleeve thing off yet. I'm not entirely sure I want to, but you can see there's this beautiful owl image on the box. Let me see if I can get this thing off. Hang on. Okay. Boy, that thing was like hermetically sealed. It did not want to come off. So here is it's got that nice soft finish. Lovely spot gloss. Nothing special there. So, now this, like I said, this is the second edition. The first edition came out, I don't actually remember when. I do not have that edition. It was one that came with a wooden box, and it was like super expensive, but I think I got an early bird on this one, so I only paid about $40 for it. But again, the beautiful owl backs, and I haven't really had a chance to look through the book too much yet. It is all black and white. So the suit names are changed. We have Wands, Fire Become Feathers. Let's see if we can get this to focus. So Wands, Fire Become Feathers. Cups, Water Become Horns. And the borders contain blue waves. Oh, with the Wands, Fire, Feathers, borders contain red triangles. Swords, Air become arrows, and the borders contain white lines. Coins, Earth become roots, and the borders contain ochre hills. So this is another people-less deck, and it came with just the little plastic band around it, with the two parts together, but it's got that weird split in the cards. So, I don't know. I don't know how they do this in those factories, but anyway, it's nice, cute, sturdy box. You can see it's kind of on cut like a little parallelogram there. So let's take a look at these cards. Oh, here's the backs. And the difference between this deck and the earlier deck, the cards, I think, the images are the same size, but she did away, the first edition had white borders, which are gone in this edition, which is nice. Quick, I'm pretty sure these were all animals native to North America. Yeah, so like, that was the original. And okay, so 3 years ago she launched the original, and the cards themselves are slightly larger. They're 7.5 centimeters by 12.7 versus 7 by 12 in the original. So they're 3 by 5 now instead of 2.75 by 4.72. So the card backs are fully reversible. Okay, so the book was done by Rachel Pollock. It's got that rose petal matte finish. Oh, and I forgot to show, or kind of did, the edges are the gold. It's that powdery, sort of semi-sparkly gold, rather than the real shiny mirror gold, which I think is prettier. Or this I think is prettier. The mirror gold kind of, it gets a little tacky looking after a while. So there really weren't any stretch goals with this, or there were a bunch of add-ons that you could buy, but what she called stretch goals, like these candles and these glasses, pins and prints and stuff, enamel pins. I mean, these were all stuff you had to buy, you had to pay for. They were not in any way included at any level. The only thing she did finally do was the little cotton bag, which I forgot to bring over. Hang on. Okay, so here's the little cotton bag that finally got thrown in as a stretch goal or an extra reward. I think all the tiers got this because, like I said, mine's a little funky. I'll have to fix that. The stitching here on the side is all bunched up. And then I think everybody got to choose a print, and I opted for the owl. So it's got this nice deckled edge. It's signed and numbered, dated. But yeah, other than that, I think everything else had to be bought. So I don't really consider those stretch goals. I consider those maybe add-ons. But she seemed to think that was the definition of a stretch goal. I think there were people who questioned that because at one point she put out an update saying that people were confused about what's a stretch goal and what's an add-on. And anyway, let's just go on and look at the rest of the cards. So here's the Magician. Yeah. If you hear any rattling, it's not an earthquake, it's just a train going by. I think that's a possum. That's probably the closest you get to people in the deck, that skull. It's a little hard to see that it's a goat on a pile of skulls. Here are the feathers, which are swords. Or no, I'm sorry, wands. They all have a keyword at the bottom, which I guess you can ignore if you don't like it. Poor little gopher. This may seem like a funny one for the Nine of Wands conflict, but if you've ever seen hummingbirds fighting over a feeder, you'll know how ferocious they can be towards each other. Sage grouse, maybe? Not sure what animal that is. Let's see. So I can find it in the book real quick. Mother of feathers. A greater prairie chicken. Father of feathers is a red-tailed hawk. I chose not to identify everything in the deck because then it would just take all day. Oh, and we're on to the horns now, which are cups. And obviously we have mothers, or daughters, sons, mothers, and fathers for courts. Okay, so this is the swords, which are, what did she say these were? I keep wanting to say arrows. Yeah, arrows. So the swords are arrows. That's kind of weird. It's got that blank white square at the top, a rectangle. I don't think any of the others had that, did they? It's the Seven of Swords. Turkey vulture. And these would be the pentacles or roots. I think this art is pretty extraordinary for being all lino cuts. She actually carved the images out of linoleum, and I don't really understand how the whole process works, but I think the detail on these, considering how they were done, is more than extraordinary. Really beautiful. And of course, I do love my nature-centered decks, which I didn't even realize that I was kind of leaning towards those until very recently. And I've got more coming from Kickstarter that I've backed, and God only knows when those are going to get here. They were all funded months ago, and just with the whole COVID-19 thing, everything is backed up. That's sweet. It's like a little bear cub. Looks like a mole, or yeah, mole. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Colony of Mexican honeypot ants. Okay, so she must have just used animals from all the Americas. North America, Central America, South America. And the father of roots is star-nosed mole. Yeah, if they would just quit eating my tulip bulbs, that would be really good. So there we have it. And like I said, this deck weighs a flipping ton. I just was like, oh my God, what, did she pack a brick in there or something? And that is a very substantial, I think it's like, let me check what the Kickstarter page said. I don't know what the card stock is, but I'm guessing it's around 400 GSM. 350 at the least. So I don't know how this is going to riffle shuffle, especially since they are bigger now. You guys are, I guess you can do it. Kind of, sort of. I would not bridge them. I don't like bridging cards, you know, unless they're just regular, like, casino playing cards kind of thing. But I tend not to like to bridge my tarot decks anyway. I don't think it does them any good. Let's see. Let's pull us a card. I'll just take this one. Okay, Father of Feathers. Let's see what the book says about that. Father of Feathers, success, power, but also a need for stability, to stay and control all that fiery passion and creative force. Like all the Father cards, he can be remote, perched alone on his post, and inclined towards arrogance. He knows his power, wielded with supreme confidence. The prairie fire behind him shows he cannot stay on his perch, but that too is all right. The Father of Feathers does not really like staying in one place. He prefers action, new challenges. As with the Mother, we should note that the tarot family cards refer to character traits, not sex. The Father of Feathers could represent a woman as much as a man. Perched on his post or throne, a red-tailed hawk holds a greater, short-horned lizard in his talons. The lizard squirts blood from her eyes, a defense mechanism more than a sign of suffering. The hawk pays no attention. He easily overpowers the lizard and controls its fate. The hawk appears ready to leap back into flight. This stems largely from his own impatience and unwillingness to stay in one place for very long. At the same time, he will in fact have to leave whether he wants to or not. He may represent the power, life energy, and confidence symbolized by fire, but faced with an actual flame, he has no choice but to leave. Thus, people represented by the Father of Feathers may find that circumstances catch up with them. The prairie wildfire may appear destructive to humans, but it forms a critical part of the life cycle of the prairie. Old growth burns away, making space for new grass and other plants. Thus we see in this card the cycle of creativity, a surge of inspiration followed by work, and then rest. So, there we go. Second edition of the Brady Tarot. And beautifully done. Gorgeous cardstock, gorgeous art. Very nice box, I love that. I was happy to forego the wooden box that the first one came with, which is why I didn't back it, because it was like $65, I think. So this one was a whole lot more affordable. I think she's selling these on her website now. So anyway, there we go. I have another video to go line up, so I will probably be back tomorrow or the next day. So stay tuned, and I will talk to you soon. Blessed be.